So, this lecture is about meaning representation, logical semantics and semantic rule labeling. In the previous sessions, we have seen how sentences are being formed and how the grammaticality and well-formedness, similarly ungrammaticality, which is ill-formedness, can be identified through different kind of parsing techniques. So, now we are going into the semantics part of the sentence or the whole text, which we call it as a meaning representation. So, meaning representation involves presenting the meaning of natural language in a form that machines can process and manipulate. It is crucial for enabling deeper understanding and inference in tasks like machine translation, question answering, summarization. So, two major approaches in meaning representations are logical semantics and another one is semantic role labeling. So, the challenges involved in meaning representations are because natural languages are ambiguous, context dependent and flexible. Now, meaning must be captured in a very formalized way. How to capture it in a precise structure? So, unlike the sentence structure that we captured through the parsing way, can we also capture the meanings through different kind of thing? So, it will help us to enable the inference, reasoning and question answering. Now, complexities include different kind of linguistic structures the languages have, something like negation, quantifiers, modality and how to disambiguate them. So, all these things are bigger complications when we are working with meaning representation. And let us go with the logical semantics. So, logical semantics is the study of meaning using formal logic. It provides precise, again unambiguous structure for representing sentence meaning. It helps us answer questions like what are the truth conditions of a sentence? How do we represent the meaning in a form that computers can process? So, the most common formalism here is first order logic. Now, this first order logic has lot of components. It starts with constants. They are represent specific entities like John, Mary kind of elements. And it also has predicates. It expresses properties or relation between entities, something like John loves Mary is expressed in FOL, something of this kind. And variables are different kind of variables. There are universal variable, there is an existential variable. So, universal variables are given with this symbol and the existential variables are given with another symbol. And quantifiers are expressed, the quantifies again it is expressed through the similar kind of symbols, whereas x and y are variables here. And connectives are logical operators which are with and, or and not kind of thing. Now, let us go with an example. Let us say there is a sentence called John loves Mary. The logical forms tells you that this is something written in this way. And here the predicate is loves and the arguments are nothing but John and Mary. Now, the interpretation is this can be used for any reasoning, querying and making inferences. And as we said, there are two types of quantifier. One is a universal quantifier which indicates the statement applies to all entities. For example, all humans are mortal, which can be rewritten as there exists an universal variable and this variable is nothing but human, and this implies that x is a mortal, so x is nothing but human. An existential quantifier indicates the statement applies to at least one entity. For example, there exists a person who loves Mary can be written as there exists an x as a variable and this x is a person and he has a predicate like loves, that x loves Mary. Now, the truth conditions are used to define the statement, whether the statement is true or false. So, the sentence like this kind of FOL, first order logic, is true if in the world John loves Mary. This is essential for building systems that can reason about the truth of statements and make inferences. So, the second type of meaning representation comes through the semantic role labeling. So, it is a process that identifies the role of sentences in a sentence So who did what to whom kind of answers are being get from the semantic role labeling. It captures the relationship and also the argument, which are kind of byproduct of parsing. Now that parsing informations on the top of it can be used to identify the semantic role. It helps us understanding the meaning of a sentence, like tasks like machine translation, summarization, again question answering requires heavily this semantic role labeled information for a efficient data understanding. Now the importance of this semantic role labeling helps us who is doing what, to whom, when and where. It abstracts away the surface syntax, focusing on the deeper semantic structure of sentences. It is widely used in NLP tasks, as I just told you. So the key concepts on semantic role labeling is it has a predicate. So the main verb or the action in the sentences are called as predicate. The arguments are nothing but the participants involved in the action. The semantic roles are of different kind. It can be an agent, which means the doer of the action. Patient, the entity that is affected by the action. Instrument is nothing but the tool which is used to perform that action. Location is where the action occurs. So the thematic roles with their definitions are given here in this table. For example, there are multiple semantic roles and each one of them have different kind of definition. Let's talk about agent. Agent is nothing but an evolutional causer of an event. So for example, the waiter spilled the soup. The soup is now spilled by the waiter, right? So he is the causer of that particular event. Experiencer is nothing but a person who experienced that whole action. For example, John has a headache, so it's a stative element. There is no action here. So John is an experiencer of the headache. Now force is a non-volitional causer of the event. For example, the wind blows debris from the mall into our rods. Now the wind is a force where it is not a agent or a initial volitional element. It is a non-volitional causer which actually occurs in the subject position. Now the subject can be an agent, the subject can be an experiencer, the subject can be also force, right? And the theme is the participant most directly affected by the event. Only after Benjamin Franklin broke the ice. So the ice is broken by Franklin. So it's been affected by the agent. Now the result is the end product of the event. The city built a regularization size baseball diamond. So the baseball diamond is nothing but it's a result of an end product of an event. So that's given with the result. And content is nothing but the proposition or content of a propositional events. For example, Mona asked something, you met Mary Ann at a supermarket. Now that is a content that is nothing but a proposition to the whole other element that has been attached. An instrument is one of the thematic role which is used in an event with an instrumental information. And beneficiary is one who benefits from the action, as you said here. The source is the origin of the object of a transfer event. I flew in from Boston. Goal is nothing but the destination of an object of a transfer event. So I drove to Portland. So all these thematic roles are being important to understand because subject alone cannot help us what kind of role it has in the sentence. Subject has to be identified through different kind of semantic rules now. So the example semantic role labeling you could see, Kumar broke the statue with the rock. Now Kumar is an agent, whereas the statue is a theme and the rock is an instrument. And Kumar drove to Chennai from Hyderabad. You could see again Kumar is an agent, Chennai is the source and from Hyderabad is a goal. So this kind of information can come through only by semantic role labeling. And Rohit asked, have you finished the assignment? Now, have you finished the assignment is the complete content to the agent which has an information like Rohit asked. Okay. Ramya makes delicious dishes for her children. Ramya is an agent, dishes are theme, and who is getting benefit for her children, right? So that is a beneficiary. Now, John gave Mary a book. Now we know that predicate is nothing but gave. Agent, that is who has given John, so he is the agent. The recipient is Mary, so the one who receives that book, like giving as an action. And the theme is what is to be given, that is the book, so that is the theme. Now the SRL tag is nothing but John is an agent, gave as a predicate, Mary is a recipient, and a book is a theme. And now semantic role sets are used in a different way in different SRL systems. So for example, prop bank is one type of semantic role label thing which focuses on predicate and argument structure for verbs, and FrameNet on the other hand uses a broader set of semantic roles based on frames and scenarios. These role sets help standardize the labeling of different roles in a sentence. So let's talk about prop bank and FrameNet. Prop bank annotates the predicates and their argument based on verb specific roles. For example, arg0, arg1 is used for subject and object roles. FrameNet groups the words into semantic frames that captures the relationship between different participants in a scenario. Both frameworks are commonly used in SRL tasks to represent meaning in a structured way. So when we are looking at building an SRL, semantic role labeler, there are multiple techniques that can be used. One is supervised learning, where we again need a trained data set with the implication of all the data sets are being kind of annotated with semantic role labeled information. These models learn to identify semantic roles by training the label data, and techniques includes CRF, condition random field, and RNN and transformers can also be used in building the semantic role labeled identifier. So again, the evaluation matrix for semantic role labelings are used with the precision, recall, and FN score. And the difference between now logical semantics and SRL is logical semantics focuses more on the truth condition and the logical structure of sentences, whereas semantic role labeling focuses on identifying the role of participants and the action. So there are two different kind of meaning representation that we have, and both contributes to the understanding of the meaning, but they do it in a different way. Now the applications of this meaning representations are logical semantics used in a more formal reasoning, especially query system, ontological mapping kind of places. Semantic role labeling used in information extraction, machine translation, and summarization. And both techniques are essential because it helps the machine to understand the natural language. Now, meaning representation is a crucial thing for building the systems that can understand and reason with natural language. Logical semantics provides a formal structure for reasoning about truth conditions. Semantic role labeling captures the relationship between words in a sentence, focusing on like something like who did what to whom. So using this semantic role labeling and logical representations, which helps us in understanding the sentence and its whole meaning in the NLP paradigm. Thank you.